sales is more important than the brand. If you don't have sales, you could love everything about GPARENCY. If you don't sell anything, close them down. Everything we do is focused on providing value that someone should want to log in today, come back tomorrow, keep using it.
Welcome to Solo to CEO. We're sitting here with Ira Zlotowitz, who I don't even know if he realizes at this point, but I actually worked for you about 12 years ago.
And the face looks familiar.
In Eastern Union. So Ira, tell me what you do.
So we are at GPARENCY a membership-based commercial mortgage brokerage. We've built for this market. So people talk about the market's changing. We built for this. And we also have a piece of technology, a marketplace that helps people find new deals, finance those deals, underwrite those deals, or track those deals. So while they're waiting until they have a mortgage they need from us, we have this free marketplace where they could do all those things on the marketplace. And the only time they start paying is when they have a deal they have to finance. So, as you know from 12 years ago, the conventional mortgage business is a one-trick pony. If you want to use a broker, you pay this big fee when you close, take it or leave it. That's the option. And there's so many different variations that people need, but the market wasn't catering to them. GPARENCY, the goal is membership-based brokerage. You become a member, we'll give you more access to banking and everything on this platform and be able to do business with us.
And what's this new thing that you just put out? This thing that allows you to, I'm going to botch all the jargon and all the words, so go for it.
All right, so it's the underwriter deal. We basically went with the tagline of lose the napkin, and calculate like a pro. So basically most people, they run the numbers back of the envelope. They move to a few different, systems, run this number here, or they rely on this top-notch underwriter. In the same way, ChatGPT allows you to do so many things, just a regular layman. We built this underwriting tool, this calculator. You could literally calculate the return on the deal, the return for the investors, the return for the syndicator in under 3 minutes. So that's one of the things. So find real estate to buy on my platform, finance real estate through our services and yourself, underwrite using this tool, and track every deal you work on. You can put notes and keep your information on and track it from there. So this new tool is this is the month we really launched the completion of our marketplace.
So the idea is that this is a model where you don't need to leave. You got everything under one roof.
Right, everything. Right. So to finish, the way I describe it is that to start, you meet someone who wants to break into commercial real estate. What do you send them? I don't know. That's what most people say. What do you need? Call this person and call that. There's no one solving the first mile. Now I want to tell someone, something, equitable access. You need to get involved in the commercial real estate, go to GPARENCY. It's totally free. You'll see now we have over 50,000 listings. All the banking information is there if you need it. You have tools to track your deals, underwrite your deals, all the tools you can need. And it's totally free. When you want to use financing, that's the beginning of paying membership. And even membership is cheap for real estate. It's a $5,000 number for the whole entire year, your whole company. So someone says, I want unlimited everything and I want banking information, $5,000 a year, unlimited. That's the whole upsell. So the goal is really like a CRM, be able to keep track and have everything at your fingertips, overlaid on a map of the whole United States and pinned everything you're working on. So that's my starting point. From here, you buy a deal, then use a property management software, use due diligence tools. Much more in-depth is after this. But where do you track all the listings? You're looking to buy real estate, how many deals do you get a day? 10? Where do you save it? I'm giving those tools to clean it up from there.
And the idea of this model is that it's very scalable also.
Right, so that's a big part. With this model, we allow, everything is property-centric, right? In real estate's all about the property. What deals if you're a broker, what deals did you work on? You're a plumber, what deals did you work on? What building did you work on? You're the general contractor. So we're allowing services to market themselves to the whole universe. So the universe is 10 million people, that 10 million people / companies, and there's room for everybody here. They come on here to pay the membership. That's the business plan. Go from a big few and you close a deal, getting that 5,000 from tens of thousands of people, or hundreds of thousands of people, or millions of people, and in effect, keep giving out more and more features like Netflix, right? If you realize, hey, if we can't have this feature tomorrow, it costs me 30,000, we'll get 10 new members, it's a great return. Spend 30,000, make 50, then it becomes a recurring revenue, another 10 clients. That's how we're thinking about every feature, right? That's the plan. So it was tough getting here, but thank God we launched. The full marketplace is complete this month, in the month of July. So, seeing a surge of users, and thank God.
It's a great time for GPARENCY.
Yeah, thank God. Like I said, with God's help, it was built for this market.
And what's Eastern Union right now?
So Eastern is a very successful mortgage company. It was more boutique. I was much more involved in the growth of it, of always hiring a lot of people and training them. It's a numbers game and that end of it. My partner was more of take the high quality, the best, and just keep making the best better and move in that direction. So when I opened up GPARENCY, He went more boutique route and kept the best of the brokers that were there. And, it really provided that higher touch brokerage value that even as the markets keep changing, there's always the value they need. Whether someone needs debt, equity, full service brokerage, that's where the East End went. So the same business maybe 12 years ago, but I was about hiring a lot of people. And, people said sometimes you have a lot of newer people there, a lot of turnover. That didn't bother me. I was growing. My partner preferred slow and steady with solid people. And that's really about today's boutique shop.
And the combination of the two brought it to where it was a few years ago.
Right. And then I
took it from there.
Then I split, helping GPARENCY, a standalone company.
Amazing. And how many people you have working now in GPARENCY?
So GPARENCY is a smaller company. It's approximately 30 full-time people. We're all remote, but most of our growth now is we have amazing brokers, amazing underwriters, the banking team, all that's put out amazing. A smaller group, total of 15 people on that team. And now the funnel, this whole technology is the funnel. So you come onto it to find the deal, put notes in, and as you're on it, hey, by the way, I want the membership. Comes with banking and says, oh, you want us to be your broker? Pay a fixed fee of just $4,000 or $11,000 to get us as a broker. So once you're using our service, that becomes the funnel. So how we do is give this all out for free. There's news on it. There's everything you can need is on that marketplace, and it becomes the funnel for it.
Amazing. So you mentioned this sales team, right? So I remember a few months back, you wrote a post about how you changed the name from, I think that was you. Yeah. You changed it from the marketing team or business development to sales. Talk about that a second.
I found that everybody wants to live up to their title, the department, and a company said sales. I found so many times I was talking to my marketing team and I said, hey, we got to get new users today. And they said, no, you don't understand. You have to get the brand right. You have to, if we do it this way, you might get people, but it's going to tinge the brand. Don't you want to do it? It'll take longer, but we'll make up for lost time. There's a constant battle. I said, no, there's no marketing department. We're closing it down. We're reopening it. They call it digital sales. How many sales did you make today? We don't care about branding. I've been saying, no, I care about branding. But sales is more important than the branding. If you don't have sales, you could love everything about GPARENCY. If you don't sell anything, but closing down. So get everyone in the company rowing in the same one direction. We have to get revenue. And since then, the mindset of everything we do is focused on providing value that someone should want to log in today, come back tomorrow, keep using it. And we're seeing that steady growth. Aside from the user base coming up, we're about to come to 10,000 unique users, of which roughly 1,000 of them in the last 30 days, something along those lines. And is that every month, a higher percent is coming back multiple times, and they're staying on it for 10, 15 minutes each time. So we're seeing those numbers trending. It's a matter of time when they're active enough that it converts. If I was focusing on building this perfect thing in 12 months from now, we would have the users. And since then, we found there's a major game change that everyone focusing around, rolling around the same number.
And you found this was directly correlated to that shift, that mindset shift.
Yeah, by that, yes. And if you look at every business book and everything they tell you, have a company, you should have a goal, and everyone in the company should know the company goal. And we have a metric, we have a number. The number was we want to have a certain number of users this month, we have a certain number. But where the breakdown is that when I would speak to the product team, for example, or if they're building the product, well, obviously they have to build us the calculator that came out. So for 3 months, 4 months they're building it, there's nothing we could do about it until it's built, right? But once it's built, my focus now is hey, how can we make it even work a little bit better with one goal? Not just that it should be pretty cool, but what features are people asking for that if we had that feature added to it, they'll use it more, that everyone can relate to. Well, on marketing team, it'd be the same thing. They were building things, they were focusing 3 years out or 2 years out or 1 year out, and I need a sale today. Because I realized I have salespeople selling. I realized that marketing team should be a multiplier. If a salesperson should go out and be able to get 1 user, 10 users in a month, if they have better marketing around them, they should this month get 15. But if they talk to marketing and says, in an email, no. I'm telling you, better than an email, we can do this. 2 months from now, you'll end up getting 30 extras. It's the back and forth, the whole internal friction. And once we changed it, the mindset went in a great direction. And yeah, obviously as time, it also, some people over time quit from the team because they couldn't leave the concept of branding. And, I say, thank God I made that decision. They'd still be working here, still in the conflicts, and they were able to keep growing the business.
It's amazing. I love it. So how did you get to here? How did you start out? Let's go way back.
Even though it's a different company, I think that we have to go back to the days of Eastern. So started in Eastern. And as I was, I started a career prior to Eastern at another mortgage company. I was a partner in that firm. And I opened up Eastern. And I started realizing that over the last 5, 7, and 10 years, it was easier and easier for someone to get a mortgage done by themselves. So when I opened the business, I loved the fact to be able to help people and make money. Help a client get a deal they otherwise couldn't have gotten. I could help new people enter commercial real estate. Thank God there were thousands that went through and hundreds that went on to be making millions a year. And so many times I get letters. It wasn't even get the people who, get frustrated at that time, but was in the 10-year horizon. I look back over 10 years, get a lot of appreciation letters, and I'm not in this business anymore, but because what I learned here, I applied, or they stayed in the real estate business, stayed in the mortgage business. And what I started to realize that I was able to help them as well make money. And the same part, I was able to make money in the process. So it's like amazing win-win. I started to realize over the last 5, 7 years, it was almost impossible for someone to become $1 million producer. New people weren't making to $1 million producer because the market became like a commodity. The market came to a point that everybody was in the mortgage business. And what was really done to one mortgage broker and the next? Really nothing. And in theory, some kid could work for me by 6 months and think he'd do it on his own and go into his basement. And he was able to do it on his own. So if that's the case, does that owner really need to pay those big fees to the broker on 90% of the transactions? No. He could probably do it himself also. He just didn't know. So I found myself over time being in a commodity business where I'm charging a client those fees where sometimes it wasn't justified, in my opinion. Now, you can say the industry does it that way. Newer brokers are coming into the space, feel like they do it on their own. I said to myself, if the market is changing, we have to build for the future of the world. We have to build for where the future is going to. And I always felt that the next real estate crash, the mortgage business is going to change forever. That's when everyone you're making money, everyone's making money, they don't care. That when people stop making money, they take a pause back and they say, okay, let's focus on this. Let's see what's really going on and let me see what's happening.
A lot of businesses did that in Corona.
So the correction. So I made the decision, it's short-lived. Like how long is your horizon on business, right? You're not doing a podcast for a day. You have a long-term vision.
Right.
So if I was only looking at the short term, when I opened, I made a decision when Corona started, in the beginning of the change, I said, this is it. Long term, I got to make a change. So I started making these changes when I was at Eastern. So much so that some brokers got frustrated and said, hey, we can milk this market for a few more months. And they picked up and they said, let me leave. They walked out the door. And we started this direction within Eastern, starting to shift. Along the way, we got an unsolicited knock on the door from venture capital. And eventually, I matched their offer with 150 real estate investors. And we said, let's take this business that we think, like you said before, turn to a $10 billion exit. Take that. Don't build Netflix while you're a Blockbuster. Leave, open up this company, largest seed round. And that was the transition to here. So it's really an ongoing direction, is that the world is changing. You need transparency for owners. They need options. Sometimes they just need the name of the bank. Sometimes they need me to help them shop it. Sometimes they need me to do the whole closing. But in any of those scenarios, there's no room to have to pay a 1% fee. Get a full broker, just what it costs, the time. Pay it like a lawyer. No one pays the lawyer $1 million for a closing. Pay based on time and value. Do the same thing to a broker. This deal's more complicated, pay more. This deal's less complicated, less. This deal's so easy, here's the number of the bank, go for it. That's what the GPARENCY was.
How does that work with the subscription model?
So the subscription model is basically, think Costco. You pay $5,000, I'll give you all my data for free. Whatever you need to know, whatever I have, I'll give you. Unlimited.
So it's not based on the amount of time that's spent on it.
It's all time. So membership, $5,000, exactly right. So for $5,000, I'll give you the banking information. I'll give you data, public data. I'll give you mortgage information. I'll give you listings. I'll give you tools, whatever you need. You want me on this specific deals to work for you? What do you want me to do? Just shop it and underwrite it? It's $4,000. You want me to take it to the closing table? It's $11,000. You're nervous about paying up front? Quarter point when you close. But to get any of those services, you have to be a member. It's a membership-based brokerage. So the only thing which people ask me, what do I recommend they should take? I recommend, if you're buying a deal, you're doing a deal, only the $4,000 service. Once I get you a term sheet and I introduce it to the lender and have a term sheet in your hand that's negotiated, you don't even need to do the paperwork to the close. You're smart enough to raise money, find deals, take partners, manage the property. You can't finish with the guy I introduced you to. That's my recommendation. So my vision of how the long term is, we're going to have clients, so easy, give you the name of the bank, just go do it yourself. If you want me to create the competition and shop and underwrite it, pay $4,000. Now, like Netflix, when Netflix opened, they didn't talk about streaming. People couldn't relate to streaming. When Netflix opened, how they opened, they focused on telling you about the disc. Instead of going to the store, you get in the mail. And then they went to streaming. I'm the same thing. You can't think of a computer or AI before ChatGPT we launched, right? You can't think about how a computer or robot's going to place your loan. You're right. We'll do the same exact thing. The only one change, $11,000 instead of this big fee. You can relate to that. It's easy. Membership, and you pay $11,000. Today, really, as people start getting comfortable, we're getting repeat clients. They repeat the next deal, they're moving towards the $4,000. And every once in a while, they come back and say, for this deal, I'll just call the banker myself. Part of membership. I'm totally fine with it. Because he tells his friend, you got to be crazy to pay a point. I just did the deal myself. So the same nightmare stories people have with brokers or direct, it's the same ratio. Whatever the ratios are, it's the same. And now that steam is filling up. We're bringing 120 new transactions to work on every single month. And this month, I have over 1,000 new people coming onto the site, probably 1,300 coming onto the site just to start using the tools and services. Straight up competition. If I was on a panel, whether it's Eastern here or another broker here, he's defending why it's worth paying that fee. And I'm saying is you get the same service. I do believe that there are instances, very complicated transactions. There's so many moving parts on the transaction. Like you want to go to a doctor. Until we go to the great doctor, an amazing doctor. But once in a while, you need a specialist. So yeah, other deals once in a while need a specialist. But on a consistent basis, the typical owner in a multifamily refi going to Fannie Mae, you never need a broker. You need a human. I'll provide the human. Pay the human that cost, not a broker. So we are competing on that end of it. So that's why, like I said before, a position as company for the future to be more of a boutique shop. There'll always be, of the 100,000 loans done a year, there's always going to be a few thousand that either they just want the conventional way, or that deal is so crazy tough that they say, for this deal, I think you guys will just process it more than living it. Can't argue that. Go there. But yeah, if Easton had the same number of brokers they had, couldn't make it. Market's slow like crazy. So it's, in general, the market's slow.
So what's that like, competing with yourself?
I one day even intend to buy Eastern and have GPARENCY offer, when you want the boutique service, let me bring you to it. To that, when a deal warrants that boutique service, go in that direction.
Like the back end off.
Yeah, so that's why I look at it. The team that's there, when I opened up, I gave options. A lot of the brokers there invested in GPARENCY. They look as a hedge. If the market stays strong, they're doing great. If GPARENCY is right, GPARENCY has the ability to be a $10 billion exit. Easton doesn't have those types of opportunities. Different type of business.
Not a scalable.
Not a scalable, and especially tougher today. Because the brokers used to pay brokers a 40% commission, now you're paying them a blend of 60, 70, and the top brokers hit their step-ups to 75%. The world changed. That's why I think the future of brokerage is totally going to change now. The brokerage shops are in trouble, like Uber. Car service drivers aren't in trouble. Car service companies. How did you get here if you took a car? Uber or Lyft. You don't call a place. Yeah, are there still places exist? Rare. Same things that happen here. Why should someone work for a big brokerage firm? So that's part of it. We went with the belief system, have boutique shop, pay higher commissions, and they work as a boutique group. I think that's already starting to happen. The big brokerage shops, the top brokers, and the middle brokers are going to start leaving. As time goes on, they need less value from the shop. They can ask for a higher commission. The commissions can't afford to pay those high commissions because they're built around paying low commissions. And I think this is where, the
market's headed.
Listen, ChatGPT can give you information. It changes the world. It's going to change every industry, A broker is just the data. It's just, a broker really just provides data. I know which bank is doing what. I know which buyer is doing what, which seller is doing what. We take it from there.
Awesome. So let's talk about how you scaled this business. What were the first steps you took in moving this business, into the direction of growth?
The direction we took, obviously we had one, like every business has their challenge. Our big wrinkle was, as we're launching, the real estate market tumbles. It slows down. It's like it moved to a point, the tumbling for us is that there's less transactions, right? I'm in a transactional business. So I focus first, while building out the technology, I focus more on the human side of the brokerage business first. The technology was secondary in that sense, like the marketplace. It's July now, 18 months later, we finally have all the technology built. The whole suite of services are finally working during this month. So we started off by hiring the same old school at Eastern, right? When I was by Meridian, the same thing. Hire people to make phone calls. The difference is I was paying base salaries, so I vetted people better. I learned how to hire better over time. Hire people that wanted to do that type of job. And even still, you get certain people it doesn't work for. Most people are grateful because no one was misled. But some people had this expectation in their mind, and they walked out the door. They just say, hey, they give a negative review somewhere because they say just the way it is, Even though the name is, they don't put the name there. They make up some crazy sounding name, but nonetheless.
I saw that on Google.
Right, so Google has some review there. You can't do anything about it, So if I live just watching those reviews, I can never go forward in life, Yeah. But at the end of the day, now the team that's working here now is more of a boutique team. The top are making a lot of money. And then no one's ever making those seven figures again. I think that's stopped at the mortgage business years ago. And I think in general, these are people coming on board to say, listen, I don't want to take the crazy risks anyway. I want a solid sales job. I like to be in real estate, technology. It appeals to me. I want to be able to start making, like I put the thing, the 150,000 guarantee. Get a group of people, a small group of people, getting funnel much higher quality leads as recurring revenue to it, the stock options, and get a group that starts making that kind of money. So great people on the banking team and the underwriting team to really go be successful in doing mortgages. That's the play.
And how do you vet the people coming in for the, the base positions?
I had one experience. It's not really base position. Let's call it all the positions.
Entry level.
Yeah, it's not just even entry level. I'm saying in every position, one of the different perks that we have. First of all, all options of base salaries. It's all like a system. You can do a training program, then it's a 30-day training, and then if you're successful, you got the job and came with the base pay. So right off the bat, it's a different process, different how we're hiring and everything. Number one. Number two is that the company has stock options that every single employee gets. Everyone feels part of a company, not just doing their one job in the corner. So when I was interviewing, while we're interviewing, we want to know what people they want. Like they teach an EOS called Get It, Want It, Capable when you hire someone, GWC. I used to hire, Ira, I have a great person for you. I said, okay, let them start Monday morning, we'll figure it out. No. You're a great person, I got on the phone. What do you want to do? The thing you want to do, I have for you, I'm hiring you. If the thing you want to do, I don't have. You want to run numbers, I don't have that. I used to in the past say, you know something? Why don't you start making calls? And as we have a position open, you'll move into that position. The guy was a flop because he didn't want to call. He wasn't going to be good at it. And because he wasn't really being successful, when I moved him over to be an underwriter, they're like, it just didn't work.
So what's the Get It? What does Get It?
So Get It means you understand the job. To understand. So the first thing is I ask you is, what do you want? If the want matches, then I describe the job and I ask you questions. Do you get it? Like sometimes there's certain things someone tells you about. Like, people have, the Jewish word is hush. Like someone has a natural information to it. You could put someone on a basketball court, they play. You give them a video game, they figure it out. Everything they can do. Other people, 3 left hands at certain things. So I describe the business and I say, do you want to do this? Like this is what the job is. If they get it, they know they automatically ask the right questions. That's what they want. And then if they want it and they get it, they'll figure out how to get it done. That's capable. I used to negotiate, get and want it. The guy doesn't really want it, but I know I'll convince him. Those were disasters of disasters. And I learned I don't fall into that trap anymore. So the vetting is I want to see what they want. Then there's certain core values that we have as a company. Does it match certain core values? Like for example, I used to think core values was be honest. Obviously it's honesty is core, but we have a way we do business is that we build better than yesterday towards perfection. So if I have a choice to put out something today that's going to be perfect, not perfect, but will get us there, or wait a month and be perfect, I'm putting it out today. Other goes, no. That's my marketing guy. No. You got to wait.
You got to get the branding.
That's just branding. Whatever you do, perfect. Yeah, I'd rather get the features out. The beauty of it served very well for us. If I got a feature out to the calculator app, I got such great feedback on it. And we learned ready to tweak things that by the time, it anyway takes time till it trickles through market in 30 days, when some guy logs in for the first time and say, now I'm getting these wow responses from that because no one ever saw such a thing. In 30 days, I get like a triple wow because all the kinks are out. But if I would have waited in 30 days and think it's perfect, I realize there's mistakes anyway. There's always issues. So the whole philosophy is
like a alpha, beta.
Right, but some people don't have the philosophy. They'd rather wait.
It's 100% start before you're ready. It's something I'm very into.
But if you took a partner who didn't have that style, you'd be friction all day. So you have to get a culture of people that believe in that, right? You talk about the reviews on what's it called. I have one person in the company who's going crazy. It's so embarrassing the person who wrote that. So if there's so embarrassed, the person will put their name. I said, are we an honest company? Yeah. Are we providing a great product? Yeah. Are we going to change the world? Yeah. So what do you want to focus on? What you know to be true? Or could someone put a comment there? What if my cousin sees it? It's important, right? These things are important to do it. I never push. So again, I'm actually going to ask my network on Sunday to really go out there and if they could put a review, the people that did do business with us, to counterbalance them. But I look in the mirror first and I say, okay, I turn to the round table. I'm being honest, we straightforward. We think we know who's behind it. There was one person that had this dream that wanted to come. They didn't want to do the thing. They used to come on the Zoom calls. Everything's remote, laying in bed basically. So what are we supposed to do about it? Can't do anything about it. We got to try our best, and God takes care of the rest.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it definitely would be good to counter.
100%. Yeah, we're going to look to do those things now.
It's on schedule for June 2024.
And no. No, but I will tell you that part of what I'm happy also is that the root of it, this summer we did a summer internship, right? Based on now that we launched the technology, the scaling of the company is not based on the summer internship. It's not based on people. The scale is going to come from technology. right? The calculator could share, getting that to go viral. Vendors could market themselves. Like, we're going to start doing different things.
What I do when I look at reviews, I look at the responses, and based on how people respond, that means so much more to me than what the review count is and what.
So you happy do we have good responses? Oh, shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, because it's also easier when it's true, it's honest, it becomes very easy. That's why to live a transparent life makes it very easy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone used to tell me once, like, I heard that if you get audited by the IRS, you're gonna be bothered. What are you bothered for? Just might be an inconvenience, but it's an open book. There's nothing I did there that I know is wrong. If it was, I wouldn't have done it. So
right.
It's like
yeah, it definitely pays to play by the rules.
Listen, at times you get tested because you see certain people. There's always the bad apples in every industry, and I look at some deals we lost because someone was a bad apple once and like doing things that clearly, not above board. Like, first, listen, you can make so much money. Why don't you try it? Like, how long is your horizon for? There's honesty is forever. Your reputation is forever. But again, meanwhile, when that person I find that is getting the FBI is looking into them because of fraud in the business, I say to myself, like, thank God. You know what I mean? Then I don't have those regrets anymore. But those moments, it was tough. You lose a big deal because someone played games. It's very tough. You know the guy's playing games. The other guy's not being honest, but you don't want to succumb to that level. So in certain times it was tough, and other times you look back and say, thank God. Like I say now with GPARENCY, thank God I was GPARENCY. And I saw ChatGPT. That's really what went through my mind. Like, I knew there was going to be one day a ChatGPT. There was ChatGPT. Most brokers make their money because they know something off market you don't know. But if everything was an open book, that's how I always wanted to play the world. That it works. The GPARENCY business model is about that. We're going to give you everything. $5,000 a year, whatever I know, I'll give you. It's like, somebody asked me for the math. When I was at Easter, how do you get the number 5,000? Somebody asked me that question, It's not that scientific. I had 8,000 clients I did business with in my life prior to opening up here. And I had 40 million in revenue my best year, gross revenue, 5,000 each. I said to myself, and that year, 25 million of the 40 went out to broker's commission. So I had to run the company at 15 million, pay overhead and expenses and everything. If I didn't do deals, I wanted to make money. The company's not that profitable as a mortgage company. You're paying such high commissions. I have to do deals also. So I said, can I get I wanted those 8,000 clients over time. I said, I'll give you whatever I know. $5,000. I'll give you tools, technology, the same tools we use as brokers, I'll give directly to you. I'll build it, it's client facing. And much better. State of the art. It'll look like Zillow. People say, every site looks like Zillow for commercial real estate. I said, can I get 8,000 to pay me? $5,000 a year recurring revenue. When someone needs a deal, I said, okay, fine. The typical team closes deals, makes $1 million. The top senior broker, underwriter staff, no problem. Pay $11,000 each. Every 100 deals, the team could close a year. Pay the cost. You pay the membership. You have a recurring revenue model. And instead of having brokers, hire quality people that know a lot about the home business and the marketing. That's what I built. So as we hit 8,000, I was saying, like, yes, about Eastern, if we did 8,000 plus 5,000, I replaced that same gross revenue, higher profit margin, recurring revenue. And then, but the sky's the limit. Why stop at 8,000? There's 10 million people.
So basically, in short, you took your best year, you broke that apart into science, and then kind of...
And that's what I'm shooting for. Now the question is, can we get to 8,000? Now we're seeing, thank God, we were growing at a slower rate while waiting for the technology. And what's amazing to me, I never had this before. When we were growing like 20 people a day new coming to the site, 30 people, we had 500 unique users last month, and we're moving. It's a nice direction. It keeps growing. All of a sudden, we roll out this feature, 108 new people that same day. Okay, and then every day, it's still coming in daily. People come back a second and third time. They're favoriting the properties. I'm saying, wow, this is scale. You see what it's possible. Before this month, before we launched, we said, let's go from 500 users to 1,000. You see these numbers, it starts taking it back and say, wow, these numbers, I knew it was going to happen. The wow turns when you see it for the first time. And I just told people, unfortunately, we can get to a point, God willing, of having thousands new a day. We're going to forget the excitement of when we had that first day, 180, best day ever was last week, Thursday. In one day, you know what I mean? And I hope we got to hold on to that first day. Hold on to that moment. Be excited for each client. When we did PPP loans, 10,000 PPP loans. You're helping someone with $40,000 loan, the commission wouldn't even pay for pizza. You know what I mean? You want to still help that person. And that's the goal to me. And so it's exciting times. But it keeps going down. The metric was following the data and every day breaking down the data. What percent of deals come in, convert? And what do the person need? And how can I sell them what service? And if I could get my conversion rate to go from 4% to 5% simultaneously, increasing the user base from 1,000 monthly to 1,500 monthly, that net number, keep doing it on a trajectory. They get referred. That's how we keep analyzing every number. Is it worth this feature because this will get me what? Allowing the calculator. We're building out a feature. It takes us a long time that you can share the calculator. So you can underwrite the numbers, send it to a friend of yours, and he can review it. He says, well, I want to upload it. We made a decision. How much is it going to cost? What percent of people actually share the calculations or want to be able to print it? And ChatGPT will summarize it. So we think a certain number. So that's what we're building coming out next week. That's what we're up to. The core features are built. What add-ons can we keep building that will get the escalation of users?
What I love about your business model is, and I believe every business should find a way to be able to help everyone, right? So there's especially with like service businesses, people oftentimes are high ticket and they're like the minimum engagement and like don't even talk to me for less than $10,000 a month. And what you're doing here is you have a model where you can literally help everyone.
That's what I try very hard to be able to build. And going back to the background, so as my dad, he started ArtScroll, which is a Jewish publishing company that translates everything to English and breaks it down that even if you have no affiliation background and you want to start learning the Talmud, you could learn the Talmud and start. And, on the rabbinic side, he took that. I can't provide that, but I have a similar to my father. So, something, take complexities of commercial real estate and you can make it accessible to everybody.
For the layman.
Right. Can make commercial real estate accessible even to the layman. And that's the idea. And that's the beginning of why this calculator is amazing. Literally, a layman knows nothing, gets a deal in, could look at the numbers and be able to hold a conversation. Crazy. I'm beyond ecstatic about it. That feature to me is like years in the making. And thank God the team nailed it. It took in a great co-founder, great designer, great UX UI, great CTO as a partner, amazing. And they nailed it. That's the first time I saw my vision come out in like 3D, working better than the vision, Everything. Usually the reality is not as good as the dream. This reality is better.
This is real. So we were talking a few minutes ago, we were talking about reputation. You have a lot of experience with hiring people, some of them who would, turn over after 30 days. How do you manage your reputation through all of these, people flying through? I'll get a little more specific. When you have someone that's working with you, right, who has a client-facing position, then there's a risk because everything they say, it's you saying it through them. How do you manage that?
So this is the part I learned from the Eastern days. We used to have brokers work. We didn't really have a clear exit. The approach was, doesn't cost us money, let them stick around. But there is an issue because the longer they stay, they're always staying because they have a few clients to talk to. If they did leave, started being a reputation with the client. I had to deal with. I had to transfer the name over. It was an issue. GPARENCY, 98% of the people was set up as a trial for 30 days that left. It's not like they worked here for 8 months and it didn't work out. A high percent was in 30 days. So they came on board as a trial. They started by cold calling clients they never did business with. Some people they knew within a week it wasn't for them. So they didn't have that issue. Most of the issue is over by then. And because of that concern they just brought up. So I learned from life's experiences to set it up more like a trial, summer internship. So if something doesn't happen, but they made a call, the person knew they were new. They weren't counting the next time. And the minute someone did get a live person on the phone, that second they put a senior person on. First person still got the regular commission, but a senior person came onto the call. So when that person left, it wasn't really relevant anymore between those two parts of it.
So there wasn't enough time for that initial person to, ruin your name with his
I'm sure there's level they ruined, but we try to set it up in every single step that it was a calculated risk. But if they had a good name, it went to a senior person to help them. Or they left too early, nothing was even going on. So if they're very successful, they didn't leave, right?
Right.
Most people successful, stick around. It's that it was for them. They decided it's not for them. They don't like the calling part of it. Now it's also interesting because we have inbound leads now like crazy coming on board every single day. For the first time, there's also inbounds, which I never really had at this. Because I need a mortgage broker. Google mortgage broker. Those who Google mortgage broker were typically people that had quirky deals. Mortgage brokers didn't work. At GPARENCY, I could help them. Because I could tell, listen, here, for this deal, between me and you, there's 8 banks, just call them. Be a member, I'll tell you the 8 banks. So they sign a membership, they're only paying $5,000. Or, I don't know if this deal's going to happen, but no one's going to work it. But if at $4,000, I'll have my banking team, because it doesn't make a difference to them if they're working a $400 million deal, an $80 million deal, or a $600,000 deal. They're getting their fee. So now it really works better for the people who have these quirkier deals. So I start getting inbound deals at all different levels.
I just want to pivot a little bit to the marketing side of things. I see you're very active on LinkedIn. Other than that, how do you market yourself? And I imagine the answers would be different for Eastern Union versus GPARENCY.
So LinkedIn is a big part. Let's not underestimate how powerful LinkedIn is. Also, built a major database, and even now, people just using organic online PPC, different like the regular channels. I have a whole team of brokers that are calling, right? They're on the phone calling, networking. And then like I started taking clips of different nuggets and just for brand thing, putting onto whether it be Instagram, TikTok, different social media platforms. It's like a certain funnel, certain percent. Like one of the things now I'm able to do, because I have this calculator, I'm planning on giving at the beginning of August, a real estate course for today's market, an hour course, crash course for today's market, and totally free. So it's a funnel. A couple hundred people sign up to it. Those people have come to the website, and a certain percent go. So
it's a webinar.
Right. Webinar, the same idea. But the big thing which I learned that I try to focus on is I try to get the overwhelming majority of my posts to be value-added posts. And just believe if people are engaging, when they have a product, you think about mortgage, you think about real estate technology, real estate data. Where are you going to? Oh, I saw Ira stuff. It's GPARENCY.
Content marketing.
Exactly.
And do you have a specific strategy that you use with your content marketing, or are you just putting out value?
I'm putting out value. I do have that dilemma because I have people following me that have nothing to do with real estate. I think about this all the time. So I'm actually thinking about kind of the podcast called Bowling for Billions. And the theory of it is like give people ideas and advice that to start, that if they take that, will flow through in that concept to the end, take that perspective. So the concept, the Bowling for Billions, is because, when someone's an adult and they go bowling, it's basically social bowling. And you just can't be embarrassing. You can't get less than 100. And I can teach you how to get 100 every time. Most people make the mistake in life, and then bowling, same, that's the analogy, that they shoot for the pins at the end. How are you going to pick up an 8 to 14 pound ball if you don't go bowling often and throw it 60 feet? It's crazy. But instead, if you notice next time you go on the floor, 2 to 3 feet in, there's a bunch of dots. Another foot later, there's a bunch of arrows. You're only supposed to go between the middle dot and the center arrow. If you could throw it for 1 foot, pretty much close to you, that's straight, statistically go to the end. So you start with the 1-2 punch. Try to break everything you do down to 1-2 punch in the funnel. So my 1-2 punches, just in life, can help give back. Same question. People ask me, I'm doing certain podcasts. What am I doing it for? I want to focus on what's that person's agenda. If the person's agenda is to provide value and help, I'll come on to that. If the person's agenda is, someone I found did a podcast and also they sent me a message. It's behind the firewall. They pay. I'm on one of their features they charge for. So no, that wasn't the deal. If you don't make it free, I never did it. Like I'm not charging you for the. So I'd rather be in that situation. And when it comes to business, same thing. Like you talk about being able to help people. I could give this to anyone to get into commercial real estate. You're an LP or GP or vendor. You have a value in my marketplace. Use it for free. If you become a heavy user or you want financing, then pay. Until then, enjoy and use it. That's my idea, my goal across the board.
So can you expound on the idea that, because the question people ask, like, why should I give away free value? Like, I don't want to give away my secrets, quote unquote. So I understand you're on the other side of that coin, and so am I. Could you expound on that idea of giving free value and why it's a profitable choice?
I don't really know someone who's not a fan of it. I think when I meet people is that they don't understand the calculated risk. They look at the scenarios, how they can get messed up. Like I could put on my site tomorrow and you could get a couple tidbits of information about banking. Then you're going to say, well, oh my gosh, because they have enough information, the person can go for free and he's not going to have to pay you. Or a person could share the login with someone not going to pay you. So that's true, without a doubt, in certain situations. But at the other hand, there's a certain percent of people who want a service and want the value. And if it's out there, they're going to pay. So if the net number, I found out that I have 100,000 people using my site and no one's paying me membership because they figured out a way to go to backdoor it, then you can be sure I'm going to figure out that backdoor to change, like Netflix just now. Stop sharing, right? Password sharing. So for right now, yeah. So maybe I wouldn't have. I shut down the whole banking side of it. No trial even while you're free. But I learned overall is that, and what's my alternative? How am I going to get customers? Go on to some real estate site, pay $30,000 a month. Would I rather build a tool at the equivalent cost of $360,000 and give that out? That becomes the top of the funnel. So instead, I'm going to go to a site to build a landing page, and why should they fill out the form? Too many steps. Imagine if every day, my goal is that every real estate player wakes up every morning, 10 million of them. I'm looking to replace Google Maps. My competition is not Zillow, is not LoopNet, is not CoStar. It's Google Maps. You wake up in the morning, and we license with Google Maps. You wake up in the morning, come to us, you look at a deal, don't go to Google Maps, come here. And once you're here, you could favorite a property. Imagine putting notes on Google Maps so you can recall the property later. Imagine you could underwrite the deal. Imagine you could upload your documents to the deal and save it there. Imagine if you could see public data on all the properties. Imagine if you could put an alert that if somebody comes to sale in the neighborhood, it should tell you about it. Something closes, it should tell you about it. news, all the news feed through AI, reading the news feed that's going on in the country. Why would you go somewhere else? Everyone's using it. Front and center. You have a mortgage? Push use for the mortgage. It's right on your screen. I'm on GPARENCY. Use me. You want company-wide access? Use it. Then it's cheap enough. It's $5,000 a year.
So what part of this service is free? I mean, if you don't pay the $5,000 a year, what can you access?
This is the rub of where the rub is, where we're charging for. There's only 3 possible times you have to pay. Use the system. You can do all these features. If you want banking information and brokerage services, yes, we remember. If you say, hey, I'm just looking to buy real estate. I invest in real estate. I want to keep a list of my deals, favorites. No issue. When financing is number 1. Number 2, you have a company. You want to be able to see notes from different people in your company, share everything in your company. You want company access? You're a bank. You want everyone in the company to have access to it. You want all that? Company-wide access. $5,000. The rub, how I'm getting it until now is that the other third way is that we are allowing you at any time to favorite up to 100 properties. 100 properties, you could put notes on it. You could put documents, you could calculations. 100 properties. It'll show up on the side list, overlaid on a map, all the properties you own, or you looked at, you worked on. If you're someone that's a small player, you own 10 buildings, 3 buildings, 5 buildings, you never look at more than 10 at a time, perfect. When you finish, unpin it, you're good forever. You start using it. You're a vendor, you want to market yourself. You hit 100. At that point, you either start unpinning it, go below 100, or earn credits. Tell me about properties for sale that I don't know about. I'll raise the bar. Refer people to the site, I'll raise the bar. I'll keep raising it. Or the last option is you pay membership, that's unlimited. So I built out a system, equitable access, that if someone's dabbling in real estate on the side, they could use the whole system for free. Someone invests with other people. They want to just have an idea what's going on. Or when they get an investment, they could pin it, they could this. That's it. Under 100, stay under 100, you never have an issue. And when you go over 100, it's not like you want to hit 100, it's not like they take away your data, the system shuts. Just unpin it. While it's unpinned, you can't look at it. Want to bring it back? So I had to take back the barrier down. That was one of the big issues we learned. I should share it as a big
barrier of entry.
Is that we had in the beginning had a 30-day trial. You know what I learned? I'm not willing to try it out. I know I'm going to fall in love with it. I'm stuck. And after 30 days, everything shuts down. When I switched it to this, it wide open. Because you could try it. I'm never shutting you down. You don't think you're hitting 100 anyway for a typical small guy. And if you're a big guy and you hit 100, you actually say, if I actually start using it, 5,000 is a cheap price for my whole company. It's not called money in real estate. It's the cheapest item, probably the cheapest bill you have in your company at that point. And on top of that, you could really just start on favoriting properties. So you never have to pay. It's like, you're losing things and you start getting married to it. You're up the creek at that point. So that's the direction altogether.
I love it. And also with like the value add videos that you put out on social media, Alex Hormozy says, I'm going to botch it for sure, but give away the information and sell the implementation. So it's very much to some extent what you're doing, where you're giving away a lot of information. You're allowing people to use this program for free up to a point where they're an intermediate, seller, buyer, investor.
Even then, I figured out a way you could just raise it. Help me.
Yeah.
You refer other people, and I'll keep raising the bar.
It's genius.
We have someone who use the calculator. Think about the calculator next week. A real estate broker. He can next week underwrite a deal, send it out to his universe, and they can look at it. Everyone that logs in because of it, his thing he'll never have to pay. I'm unhappy because out of the 100 people he brought, one of them will want finance. I saw a book called The Go-Giver. That's really the idea. Keep giving value, and it turns back. If I came to the point that I wasn't making a living, then I'd have to adjust things accordingly. But so far it's working, and I'm happy. What do we do? The other way is make money. I meet other people. They go the other approach. Make money, and then they're going to go do charitable things with it. Wait till that whole cycle, if it works or not. Let me help people from day one. Let everyone in the morning, before they even call it. I have someone who uses our service, still use my competitor. They come in, they look at what I have to offer. They take my information, go to the competitor and say, listen here, I can do this my own. What are you in charge of me now? And the fees are lower. This is the best $5,000 they spend. Some use me for $4,000 to get a term sheet and then create the competition that way. So that's what we've been setting things up.
No, they say if your business is about helping people and you prove it by actually helping people before they even come to you, then you're going to succeed ultimately.
Yeah, so it's like you have to have enough runway to get there. I say sometimes, it's like thank God we have it. We're seeing the success. We're still and the runway is picking up.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, what are some challenges and brick walls that you've hit along the way?
So the biggest brick wall is that people just couldn't believe, and also you have my competition chirping in the air. How is it possible? It's an $80 million deal that there's some guy charging $800,000 for, and you're going to do it for $11,000. How is it possible that there's a reason why there's that competitor who's doing tens of billions of dollars a year worth of business, all their clients are stupid, right? A lot of that stuff. So I have the answers for that. Like my dream is to have a debate on a panel myself and a few conventional big brokers. Let's debate it out. Right? The answer to those things is that, like I said before, most things is old school. 20 years ago, you couldn't even talk to the bank. 10 years ago. And they're only going to talk about the good cases. They know how to sell you. Oh, you get 8 million. I got an extra 9 because I did. You have no idea if it's true. Did you call the bank yourself? No, the guy saved the deal. Maybe they would have spoken to you. You don't know. You don't realize the banker is more motivated than the broker to get these deals done in today's day and age. They also get commission. So you don't know what would have happened. There's a lot of assumptions. You also don't know what the big guys pay. So I once went out there, not because I was in the business. I interviewed those big owners. I went to this huge owner, the signature owner from a competing firm. But like, you're talking about an owner in the billions. And they said, what is a broker? Like, you still have your whole team. He says, Ira, let me explain it to you. How much do you think I pay? Think I pay a point? I don't pay. I pay less than half. And of that, someone in my family gets a part of it. Legitimate. No games. So what's my net fee that's coming out? Because I'm the top client to this, every year I end up buying one building, we'll get a piece of intel to help me buy a building that otherwise wouldn't have gotten. So when you take out that value that I made on those deals, how much did I actually pay? Almost nothing. But the next person says, this guy's smart, he's using them, but I should use it before you know it. And that's what happens in the process. And a lot of it still is a ripple effect from years ago. It takes time for, change habits and people do things differently. That's really, I saw the trend coming. You can't time a market. Yeah. Should I really have waited to open up GPARENCY this year instead of, 18 months ago and start making changes in my company in 2020? Yeah, of course I would have been better off in hindsight. You can't time a market. I just knew long-term. When the market changes, the world is changing. Brokerage community is changing forever. The market corrects. And that's I'd rather be. Like I said, GPARENCY is built for this market. And God willing, it rains that.
Say in terms of hiring, what are some challenges that you face?
So there's less challenge I'm facing now. It's more that for every position we get a lot of applicants because the people that are actually checking out like I said, they want to be part of something, making a difference. They want to be part of a revolution. They want to be part of something that could also the equity in it. Like someone could be a regular employee, they have shares. God willing, we take this thing public. They're regular employees that are working here making money. So they have a salary and they can have shares that are worth a lot of money. They can actually retire. If you have these success stories, the dream is here. Dream is alive. And now that the product's up, it's not just this futuristic dream that Ira's selling you. They see it working. They show it to their clients. And the client says, wow. When they show the clients, we'll do mortgages for brokerage. They come on, how you can do a deal for $11,000? They're hiring you. You know what I mean? Oh no, let me get Ira on the phone. Let me get Michael on the phone. Let me get no. That type of thing. Today, just look at the technology. Wow. The wow is the response. So when they get the kind of wow response, the momentum goes and changing the world and things are into it. And that's really starts to take place.
And how does this stock option model work? Is this something also you can adapt in any business?
So really you could adapt in any business. I was just fortunate enough the way the business was built and the way it was started. It was, like I said, a venture capital structured. And they told me a formula that they set aside a certain number of shares for employees. Every employee gets hired. They get a certain number of shares as a percent of their income. Bonuses and big bonuses will come as shares. And there's a vesting concept. So let's say somebody gets 1,000 shares. Every year, 20% vests. So if they leave here in 2 years, they for sure own 400 of theirs. And it has like a certain price point. And when we sell, they can make that money. So I think we're going to, God willing, sell out at $100 per share. That's what I'm hoping for. People say along the way, you're never going to take it to the end of the movie. Along the way, you can get some call from some competitor. Google, somebody wants to come into the space and say, hey, you got this already working? Because real estate's the number one, commercial real estate's the number one thing people are trying to figure out. There's so much money in here. And they couldn't figure it out. It's too opaque, right? We're starting to get traction. And the way we're picking up these numbers this way, this trajectory continues. And the proof of concept is here at the next level. But along the way, that's the plan. Take it to $100 a share. And I like to be, if I'm 90% wrong, $10 a share. We start at $1, still 10 times your money, that type of thing. So as employees, hey, once they get a job, feel very fulfilled and have shares. What the benefit really works for me with this is that I never had it that everyone really cares about the company because it's really their company. It's not just care about the company and how rah. No, you have shares in that company and your shares vest. And even if you ended up leaving here after 2 years, you leave here after you have it. And the longer you stay, every year you get more shares. That start that new 5-year cycle for you. So fascinating to me. That's why I started talking. I always had this concept of giving profit sharing and bigger commissions and keep people for longer. But this is like a total game changer. I could literally hire someone entry level, making whatever entry level is, and they have shares in the company. So every person working here has shares in the company, without exception.
Great.
And that's, so they work towards it, their company, it's part of ownership, and they're feeling fulfilled and they're proud of what they do. But yeah, when they get that negative review on Google, oh my gosh, we get a negative, what should we do about it?
Yeah. They feel more part of it.
I happen to agree with what you said about that. It's what the company actually responds. Do they respond, and what do they say? And like, let's really be transparent. This is the fact, and we're willing to put it out there. It's like there's no one challenging any comment that we put back that we said that's not true. ... Never. It's like I say meet people that say, "Oh yeah, what do you mean? We treat our employees great. There must be that one bad apple." They put up no, but put everything transparent. And thank God when you're transparent and you're living the honest way, you don't have those issues.
Yeah. What does the G stand for in GPARENCY?
So it's the G and the P. It's really GP for general partner. Transparency. So basically, if you're a GP, you want to get all the transparency with everything you need to do. And if you're the type of person that is transparent, we're gonna work great together. And the LP is the limited partner, so that is who invest, or the vendors are selling to you. So that's the whole universe. Everyone in real estate is either a GP, they're the syndicator, they're general partner, they control the deal, they're the limited partner, or they sell to the GP. So I'm allowing a competing mortgage broker of mine, I'm allowing a general contractor, property manager, go into the marketplace, go to any property and say, I was the general contractor on this deal. So if you're looking for a building in Texas, you might see a building that has an icon of a contact, go there and say, hey, there's a general contractor, but let me call this guy. What do you know about this neighborhood? I'm looking to buy it. You can do some work, and by the way, let's do some business together. As long as he stays below 100, totally free. This general contractor introduced me to other people, I'll raise the bar for him. He never has to pay. And that's but again, he might introduce me to a GP they didn't know about, and now a GP ends up becoming a member. So the whole cycle is keep providing value. And I know in real estate, what does every owner need? They need a way to track deals, they need deal flow, they need a calculator, they need news, they need public data, they need comp information. The site has everything, overlaid on Google Maps. So we keep, now at this point, see which features you're tying out and make better and better. That's the plan. Provide a full value, full equitable access for free. And even when we do charge, I don't have an upsell. There's only like 5,000, and then, for you, I want to sell you, a $6,000 product. This is it. People, the things we think about though, is that, you want me to do work, so paying for my cost of my labor. But the things where it's going to probably cost more is that when people are going to say, listen, right now it's company access, but everyone sees everything in my company. I want to set it up that certain people can see certain things. I'm going to have to build a custom module with rights, then charge. But the way the system is right now, unlimited the whole company, that's it.
Like you were saying before, if it's an $80 million deal or a $600,000 deal, it's $11,000.
And even before that, I'll tell you which bank to go to before that for free.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you should. I tell a person, listen, if you're smart enough, experienced enough, you can raise the capital to bring that $80 million deal together. You need more than just a phone number of the banker to call. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm taking this call for this deal. It's like 100 lenders. I'm going to these 6 lenders. Why don't you just call them yourself and see what happens? That's what I encourage people to do. I said, no, Ira, you know something? For $4,000, can you do it for me? No problem. $4,000, I'll make a few phone. Like I tell people right now, I come off cheap. Cheap. Instead of a $100,000 fee or $400,000 fee, $1 million fee, you can only charge me $11,000. So I say, come on, Ira. You're calling 21 bankers to fill that out. You're charging me $4,000 to rip off. That's what I'm waiting for, that review on Google. You know what I mean? It's so expensive. I had a broker work for me once. He went, and this client, came in and said, he was kept just paid point and down. I helped this client. They saved this client's life at one point. They forget those moments. But sure enough, he comes in one day, he offered the broker in my office, so he was paying half a point. He goes, I'm going to go hire the broker. I said, okay, I can't do anything about it because he's going to give the broker. The broker makes now half of the half. Pay the broker 3/8. So the broker wins. He makes more money on his office. So let me tell you something. Guaranteed in a year, 18 months, you guys are splitting. He goes, why? We're working together great. He says, because right now, he's a cheap broker, right? He's a cheap broker. So this guy's a very good broker. But right now, you bring him on board, he's saving money. So he's a cheaper broker because you're paying him less because he's in your office. But in a year from now, he's an expensive CFO. He's expensive money guy in your office. No one else in your office is making 7 figures a year. Why should this guy make the 7 figures? Sure enough, a year later, they split. So I told the guy, I told the broker, you would have been better off net staying here. But again, when they think you have ulterior motives, you can't win. So that was that's that part. So it's a people's business. But over here, I like it. For me, I always felt providing values I wanted to do. And then I get messed up at times. Or then I couldn't help as many people. Here, like, wow, I have a piece of intel I can share with people. I have no ulterior motive. Just share what I could do. I could eventually hit a certain point, an analyst that all my clients could call. You know what I mean? Like a market analyst, and give reviews. Because again, do I think I'm going to get, if this person earns $150,000, do I think I'm getting 30 extra clients a year because they want access to this person? That's something about every feature.
Right. You're in the business of trust, right? How would you advise people to, when they're building a business, to to engage with their audience in a way that they're going to trust them?
Be authentic. That's the easy part. If you're not authentic, then I can't tell you to be authentic. You know what that means. But if you're authentic, then that's what clients want that. And like you said, really look to provide value. When I went into business, my dad always told me, you want to build the best product you possibly build at the cheapest price you could do it. And then you have no room for competition. Leave no room for the competitor. So when I built this product at GPARENCY, I was like, okay, what is something that if someone else built, I'll be put out of business? And I built every feature to the best in class. I said, how cheap could I deliver it for? $5,000 a year. And give it. And that's what I'm doing. And if over time I have to raise the price because I can't deliver for that cheap, at that point I'll have to raise the price. But I think I should be able to.
Because the market needs to charge.
Yeah. That doesn't matter. If at the end of the day you sign enough people fast enough, I don't have an incremental cost every person that signs up. It doesn't cost me. I have a cost to get new people. But imagine if tomorrow morning, like I tell people today, everyone prays that God should make it rain and your business be crazy successful. But sometimes you're not set up for that growth. You're a barber. 200 people walk into your store at 9 o'clock in the morning. You're screwed. 100 you'll be able to help today, and 10 will have to wait. Someone will call me up tomorrow morning and say, hey, we get the Wall Street Journal writes an article you take Grant Cardone or someone on TikTok that has a crazy real estate following says, if you're in commercial real estate, you want to be in commercial real estate, and you don't check out GPARENCY, you got to be crazy, right? Something like that comes out there tomorrow. If they would have done it 6 months ago, when my technology wasn't ready, they would have walked on. It was nice, like, I don't know why this guy's renting. Or 2, they give me 1,000 deals. I can't process it quickly. I have to ramp up to it. Today, 1 million people come to the site. You can handle 1 million people. So like the funnel is just waiting for it to rain. So I'm thinking, but
you have that kind of bandwidth?
Yeah, totally built it for the scale. I built it for 1 million users. That's what we built it for. The technology, the partners I picked, the team that's at entry level. The average salary we're paying to the full-time staff is very, very, very high at every standard. Like really high. It's not like entry level. I took the best of that. My co-founder ran product at Fannie Mae. My partner, CTO, was in the Marine Corps and Key Bank. They had a product, they had a design. And each person is like expert in their field. And they came together for this vision, for this everything. And thank God we were able to put it all together. And now it's launched and it's here. And now looking to scale it. The issue is, that's why we did a lot of outsourcing to stuff to be built, because once the technology is built, I don't have to keep building all day long new technology. The features are built. Now it's ready. Let's look to scale it.
Do you ever use video other than the educational videos you put out? Do you ever use video in your marketing?
Yes, I did a video yesterday talking about what the feature I love the most about the calculator. Right? Nothing fancy. I just took up the phone. And actually, a funny story that I didn't realize I did the phone on me. So I talking. I thought you could click on the iPhone and it'll flip the camera the other way, but you can't do middle video. It doesn't flip middle video. So I literally stopped, pressed the button, continued it, and then my daughter was there. I said, do me a favor, can you just connect these 2 videos together? And she says, I sent it to her and right there she did it, and I was able to put the post. So yeah, I use it. I try to use it all the time. Keep it short to the point. I know that on TikTok a little bit longer, and education, these things. So keep breaking down value and sending it out.
Outside of educational videos, like ads and stuff, do you ever?
Yeah, so right now I have demos how to show people how to use the product. Right, we're going to put that out there. The difference is today the world accepts much more of not as high-end professional, and you can use a lot more technology, like AI, all these different softwares. Let's forget about a new software. Just the conventional ones could get things done better. What I found about AI is that, take yourself, right? I'm sure in your industry, you're great at what you do. You have this aspiration to get to a certain point. And you say to yourself, when I would get the certain camera, when I get certain experience, I'm going to learn how to do that one day, whatever that one day is. AI allowed you to just like save years.
Shortcut.
Right, shortcut. But again, same token is that that's 12 years ago, where you were holding, that starts with it. They're ahead of where you are in much less shorter time. So it starts like the whole world changes. But the same token, the person in my office says, oh, before giving anything out, we just do it ourselves. So it's like a full domino that, more creativity.
Depends what though?
It's everything. Yeah, it's always like that. It turns out. But the mindset is that everyone could be better because of it. By virtue means that you need less people involved in the process. So if you used to 1 million hours, it took 100 people to support 1 million hours worth of video. Now you only need 90 or 80. What are those 20 people doing? That's what's changing in every industry.
Right. Unless those people are using AI for their own process, so they're much more fruitful in the work.
Again, the same thing. The much more fruitful means that what they were doing, that's why I give the example of 100 people not using AI could service 1 million hours of video. if they all use AI, they could be much more fruitful. It's only an 80 to service 1 million. Now what happens? You have 80 people servicing that 1 million. There's 20 people don't have a job. They have to create someone else, convince someone else to start doing video. But that's what I'm saying is, so it's like the whole industry. If right now there's 1 billion hours of recorded a year, and 1 billion hours is 1,000 people. They only need 800 people. That's and every industry is going to start going through this.
But those 200 are probably not incorporating AI.
No, let's do all incorporate AI. So that means everyone could do a lot more. There's only still 1 billion hours of the videos. So the videos come less.
Well, then the video industry would be bigger, though.
Right, who says? Why is it growing? Whatever rate it's growing. If it's going from 1 billion up 10%, and now people could handle a lot more, there's still going to be shrinkage. Don't forget the tools are just starting. Imagine what's going to be in 6 months from now. Imagine what's going to be in 8 months from now. Don't forget that they're making the tools so easy that I could just send it to my daughter and she could just do it. That was an easy one. I'm sure she could do even more complicated ones. So everything is changing across the board.
I guess it really depends. I mean, as a video guy, it really depends on what kind of video content we're talking about. So like for social media content, educational content, then there's no reason why a person can't just do it on their own.
Right. That's why.
Right,
I agree with you. So I think in your case, when you're doing the videos, I think right now, because you can do a lot more, you start becoming more affordable. Like you at the end of the day have to make a certain dollar amount per hour. That dollar amount is 50, 100, 200, 300, 400. But if you can now do my video in half the time, the cost for me to produce a video, I'll start doing it now because I don't have to pay that $250. I can pay $125 for that video, of that type of situation. And you might give me some tools where aside from paying the $125, I could probably get a lot more videos out because I could prep it better by the time I give it to you. Like there's so many different things that keep changing there. That's the things that happen. Someone like yourself hires an entry-level person using AI. Instead of hiring another person making $100,000 a year on your team, you hire a $35,000 person using AI, could do the work of that 100 under your guidance and edit it. Like all these things are going to sit.
Well, that's actually what I did. Instead of saying like, okay, we have AI now, when we fire 20% of my team, what I did was I made sure that everyone's incorporating AI in what they're doing, and we just scaled up the output of what we're doing.
But because you took business away from someone else also in the process. But when everyone does
it just means that I'm able to do more without hiring more people.
But you got the more. Someone lost out because of it. You had a competitor that would have gotten that business. You're looking at yourself, I agree with you. That's why people AI that makes mistakes. Okay, you're going to be out of business, But when everyone takes on AI, at the end of the day, it's going to cause in every industry, it's going to cause less people needed to go to this task then. So that's it. I appreciate the time.
Thank you very much for coming in. This has been Solo to CEO. So if someone wanted to check out GPARENCY, how do they?
So they go to GPARENCY.com, GPARENCY.com. And anyone, if there's any value that could help people, want to be able to go ahead and pay it forward. Want to be able to pay it forward, I give out my cell number. I only have one phone, 917-597-2197. Hope you get 1 million views and 1 million people have access to that right now. And WhatsApp or email, IraZ@GPARENCY.com is the way to reach me. I check every email, every text, every WhatsApp. I respond to almost all of them, but definitely read it. And if I didn't respond or acknowledge, I think I should have, bring it up to the top again, reach out on LinkedIn.
I like it. You give out your phone number. That's part of the transparency.
And just like, yeah.
It's great.
That's it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks so much.